All right, today I'm going to walk you through a new landing page that I designed and built and launched recently. It's for a company called Zap Pay. Now, Zap Pay is a startup that is using RFID technology in drive-thrus in order to speed up the time that it takes you to get your food or whatever you're getting in the drive-thru. So this landing page is meant to drum up interest for the product and for the company, and to also build a mailing list that can be used later on for marketing and for figuring out what markets have most interest in something like this. And so I started working on the project for a few months ago, and now it is launched. So to walk you through, I'm going to walk you through this landing page. So here at the top, we have Zap Pay sign up button. If you hit the sign up button, it takes you down to the bottom of the page where there's a sign up form. And that's really the main call to action. Now we have our first headline here, which is the company's tagline, "Less waiting for all." And one of the things I got really excited about in this is you can actually do quite a bit these days that weren't possible to do on the web several years ago for more editorial style designs and layouts. For example, the typography tucking behind the cups here, that's something that you would have had to just bake an image in. With the text here, you would have done that in Illustrator or wherever you're doing your stuff, and it's just kind of photoshopped it. Whereas here, this is actually live text. And the way that works is there's a CSS mask that is kind of cutting out the text that around the edge of the coffee cup here, which is pretty cool that you can do things like this now in a way that you couldn't have done before, not that many years ago. So as you move down the page, I describe how the product works. You order by voice, and then you can zap to confirm. Basically, an RFID tag that you would have in your car or in your phone. You can communicates to an antenna that's in the restaurant or service, and then and that's how the payment happens. Another fun thing about this is, kind of along with the editorial stuff, played with masking images with text. This is live text here. And then playing with things like animations and 3D rendering. So this is a project that gave me the opportunity to get to use a 3D software called Spline, which allows you to create 3D models of things and then put them into web pages. And so that's where this comes from. And then down at the bottom, drive away. So first step, order by voice, zap to confirm, and then drive away. Now, one thing that is kind of in order to kind of demonstrate really how this works and how it impact you as you're going through the drive-through, I did this animation. And this is an opportunity to use another kind of web tool called Rive, and where I'm able to kind of animate through an illustration of how this works. Kind of comparing the Zap Pay enabled flow here on the right versus the slower credit card a standard drive-through flow here on the left. You can get more cars through the restaurant more quickly, whereas over on the left it takes a lot longer. So, and then down here, you sign up today, and you can enter in your email address and all this kind of stuff. And I built this to take the CAPTCHA and actually just write this to a Google form using Google Apps Scripts, which is a pretty handy, kind of less middleware. You know, if we're going into a spreadsheet anyway, why stick a bunch of services in the middle like Zapier or any number of different things? I could style the form the way I want and then put it right into a Google Sheet. So that is this landing page. was a fun project. I was able to do a lot of visual design, develop things in a new way. This whole website is built in Astro.js. So it's fast, it's performant on many different devices. It's responsive as well. So all this stuff kind of scales down, which is pretty great. And then so that people can use it on their phone, and it's pretty straightforward. Kind of tells you the value that this provides to the customer, this provides to you, and then captures information, and then you're on your way.